Can you guys hear me? Hello? All right. Okay. Um, on the reason why I was out on Monday, I got my second COVID shot and I was fine. Oh, yeah, right. I was fine until that evening. And then all hell broke loose. Oh, okay. I was so sick. I had fever, I had chills, I had, oh my God, oh my God, yeah. I couldn't believe it. Right, exactly. And I couldn't believe it. And thank you for everybody's support. And I was really, really sick. And oh, yeah, no, I'm good now. I'm good. So I wanted to talk about the midterm. I just want everybody to know that I saw it, of course, and some people did not do well. Some people I expected to do much better than they did. And I just want everybody to know that we still have the final and we still have the second half left. Now, what I usually do to make it fair, right, I usually add some of the questions that we had on the midterm onto the final. And I don't know if I should make the final 25 questions and then that way add more midterm questions on there and then give everybody a better chance of getting a better grade. So that's something to think about that I'm going to think about. But I'm going to add some questions. No, it's 2 hours. The final's 2 hours, not 90 minutes. Right, it's 2 hours. And um, I believe I'm going to, you know what? If I make it 25, no, it's not cumulative. No. Listen, when I say cumulative, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some questions from the midterm onto the final. That way, I don't want to make it seem as if, you know, you're going to be seeing questions that you're familiar with. So that way, it's much easier for you. Um, it's better. You have a better chance of doing better on the exam. Now, one of the things that I saw that really bothered me, and I couldn't believe it, is the fact that some of you um, took it for granted. Took for granted what we've gone over, and I got it, and all this. And what happens is you tend to be a little bit overconfident, right? And when you become overconfident, right, you make mistakes. You make mistakes, right? You had a game plan, as I told you before, and all of a sudden, um, you tend to move away from that game plan, right? You had a game plan, and the game plan was to do this and that way, and all of a sudden you start second guessing yourself. And I told you I've seen that happen, right? Yeah, you start second guessing yourself. And that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing when you take an exam. You make a decision and you stick with it, right? And then another thing that I saw was the the gimme question, right? Which so many people, so many people got that wrong. So many people got that. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how many people got that wrong. And we went over that. And there's another gimme question that's going to come up for the second exam for the midterm, and it's going to be based on the bonds that we're going to be doing. And I could not believe, and I said, I know this is going to happen. And so many people got it wrong. So many people, at least 10 people got that wrong, right? And I said, what happens is, while I'm doing it with you, right? And a lot of people did really well. A lot of people did really well. And I know what happened. They had a game plan, and unlike the classroom where you can only have but so much of a formula sheet, they must have had one that had everything on there, right? And I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm not saying that, blaming anybody, but you know, but in the long run, I know this class. This class is a serious class. This class is very serious. The attendance is always high and people are serious. And I don't want to give anybody a bad grade. I don't want to do that. You make up your own grade, but I don't want to give anybody a bad grade. I love when I see I have B's and A's. I love that, right? That means I did my job, right? And this is not, it seems easy because of the fact that, some people had more access to formula sheets. But if we were in the classroom, it would have been a little tougher. We wouldn't got some of these high grades like we have if we were in the classroom. It wouldn't have been that type of exam, that grade, those type of grades. But I am telling you, I know for the final, that people are going to do better. People are going to do better on the final, right? And I am going to add some of the questions from the midterm. I'm going to add about five, maybe five or more from the midterm. Take one from each chapter or two or three. And then you should have it down to a science now. With your eyes closed, you'll be able to do it. With your eyes closed. And that's what I want to happen. And this class has good attendance. I'm going to round up the grade. So what do I mean by that? If you have an 84, it's going to be an 86. If you have an 80, it damn sure ain't going to be 86. So don't even go there. An 80 might stay where it is, right? So if you had my classes before, exactly. If you had my classes before, you know how I grade, right? If you had my classes before, you know how I grade. I grade based on, this class has very good attendance, so that's not an issue, right? And also the rounding, 88 is a 90, right? 80 stays the same. There's no real, depends, right? There's no in between the 80 and the 86. Maybe there's an 83, or it depends, right? But I had someone last semester who wanted me to change an F to a C, and I couldn't understand that, right? That I can't do that. I can't do that. I mean, I was getting letters. I felt bad, but I felt badly about it, but I can't do that, But 78, 80, okay, stuff like that. That I'm going to do. That I'm going to do across the board. And before you write me any emails, right, look at your grades first, and then see there's a chart. The chart. All of you have that chart, and that's what I use. Look at your grade first and see where it is. And before you write me the email, right? Before you write me the email, look at your chart, right? And look at your grade and see if it fits. Yeah, the graph on Pearson is very accurate. Absolutely. right? 15, 15, and 70. All right, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. I want to show you something. I didn't see that, Alexis. Hold on. That last one. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. No, that wasn't Alexis. I don't know yet. Hold on. I want to show you something. Can you guys see this? No, answer.
Yes, we see it.
Answer me. Okay, you see it?
Yes, yes.
You see the weighted?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how it's set up. Okay? All right, so there are no secrets. Is that okay? You see it?
Yes.
Okay. So you got it, right? That's how it's set up. And based on that, that's why I stress for you to do your homework, because it helps in the long run. That's your extra credit, right? Do your homework. Okay, so tonight we're going to embark on a new subject, right? And the subject is, let me see my attendance here. Who's here? Okay. All right. We're going to embark on a new subject, and the subject are bonds, right? Which is one of the primary things that when you go into the real world, by the time we're done, you're going to learn how to calculate the bonds, right? And I am going to tell you, like I'm telling you now, right? The worst mistakes that I've seen on the bond calculations are the easiest things to make, the easiest way to make a mistake, right? So don't think you have it. Go over it. Go over it till you get it. And we're going to go over it a few times. I don't care if you suck your teeth or look up in the air. I'm kidding around, of course. But we're going to get this. Okay? And there's a lot of negatives. There's a lot of payments. There's a lot of breaking it up. And you'll be able to do it, but it takes practice. One of the worst things I've seen is when I was working at the bank, I saw people who came out of business schools and they did not know how to calculate a bond. And I found that to be unbelievable. Okay, so let me start with that. Hold on 1 second. All right, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so when we talk about bonds and what a bond is an IOU, right? It's an IOU, and what it is, it's like a loan. It is a loan, right? And the thing is that you borrow and you're going to pay back. You're going to pay back the borrower interest, right? So what happens is this, and give you an example. You borrow, you want to borrow, you want to create a bond, right? So you need to borrow like the bond is going to be, face value of the bond is $1,000, right? But when you borrowing the money from someone, you're going to make it for 900. right? The discount. You discount the amount that's on the face value or the future value, right? The difference between what you pay for it and what you get at maturity is your interest. That's why you're lending the money. You're lending 900 to get 1,000 back, right? That's called a discount, right? You're buying it at discount. Now, there are different ways of looking at these things, right? You have what they call, I just gave you a perfect example, right? So, for instance, if Citigroup wanted to raise money to buy a new building, right? And they were selling shares of a bond, right? And the shares were going, the face value of the share, of each share was $1,000. But you'll be able to purchase that share or that bond for $900. And then in 2 years, Citibank will pay you back $1,000 when the bond matures, right? Mature means that it reaches its peak, its value, and that's it, right? Now, listen to me and listen to me well, class. Two things that never changes on a bond: the coupon payment and the face value. That never ever changes. One more time. Two things that never change on the bond: the coupon payment and the face value. That always stays the same, right? The coupon payment, we're going to talk about that. We have the face value, number of period, the initial price of the bond, right? Present value, yield to maturity again, and then you have zero coupon with N, right? We're not really touching that, right? So, and another thing, and I'm going to give you some big tips before we delve into this. There is an inverse relationship between interest rate and bond price. If the interest rate is high, the bond price is low. If the bond price is high, the interest rates are low. There is an inverse relationship between interest rates and bonds. They both can't be going in the same direction. You can't get a high interest rate and a high price. It doesn't work like that. Right? It doesn't work like that. Okay?
Professor,
So
can you repeat this relation again? Thank you.
right, there is an inverse. There is an inverse relationship between bond price and interest rate. They go in separate directions. If the bond price is high, the interest rate is low. If the bond price is low, the interest rate is high. You need to know these things when you're doing your calculations. I can't see that. You got to talk to me. I can't see those texts or those chat. Yes.
Is the bond price the principal amount?
Yes. Yes. But you can't look at it that way. You have to look at it as the price. You got to look at it as the price of the bond, right? You could say that, but let's keep it that we're talking about the price, right? What you're going to be paying for it. You can definitely say that. Good. So there are a lot of bonds that are issued, right? In the old days, when I used to work on Wall Street, they used to have paper. It used to be paper, right? Let's see if they show, wait. They used to look like this, right? What you see right here, right? And what used to happen is This is a bond. You have different types of bonds. So you have a bond that has 0 coupon. So what that means is that you buy the bond at a discount price, and when the bond matures, you get your discount price plus the interest that equals the value of the face value of the bond. So if you pay $900 for it, right, when it matures in a year or two, you get your $900 plus $100. You get what the face value is. Now, you have another type of bond that pays interest as it's going along. Those are known as coupons, right? These little papers. Now, when I worked at Citigroup, this is back in the 70s, right? The grandparents used to give these little things right here. They rip up like a little bit of like a coupon, right? They perforate it and you just cut it, and they used to give it to kids. It was like $20, $30, $40, and then they would redeem it at the window, and they would cut them a check, right? The kids would go downstairs and get all excited, right? And they would redeem one of those. So coupon payments, these no longer exist. They don't have these anymore like this, right? Everything is done electronically because people used to steal them. They used to get lost, this and that. So they decided they do everything electronically now, right? And they all assign a CUSIP number, which is an individual number for each bond that's printed, right? And it's easily to find. You know, you don't need so many. In the old days, they used to have messengers taking them back and forth. Oh, forget it. Bonds used to get lost. They used to get stolen. All kinds of things used to happen, right? So now everything is done electronically, right? So if you buy a bond, and the the they have coupons and all that, right? So they actually pay out every 6 months or every year, whatever the coupon payment, whatever the deal is on the coupon payment. So bonds typically have 2 types of payment to their holder, right? The principal face value, or also known as par value, or principal amount, right? But we're going to stay with the par value, right? A bond is the notional amount we use to compute the interest payment. Typically, the face value is repaid at maturity. It is generally denominated in standard increments, such as $1,000. The reason, and that's true, but you can have bonds for 25 million or 40 million, right? Depending on who's printing it or who's issuing it, right? So we use small numbers, right, in this class so we can understand what we're doing. We use small numbers so we can actually understand what we're doing. Now, Michelle had said that the principal amount, and she's right, it's either principal amount, right? So the par value, right, also known as face value, is basically what this amount is right here. What this is, right? This 500, right? So that's what you use. Now, when a bond is issued, right, and it's 0 coupon, so what happens is the bond sometimes changes hands, right? Changes hands. So a person that noticed that the interest rates are going to be going down, he knows that the bond that he has is going to be worth the face value, price of the bond is going to go up. So they tend to change hands, right? They change hands all the time, right? Or vice versa, right? And they do change hands, right? So that happens also. Now the coupon payment, right, are additional payments. That's separate from zero coupon. Zero coupon, you get your money at the end. Now, the way the coupon payment works, if I buy a bond for $1,000 and it's at 5%, so which means that the coupon rate is going to be $50. And it pays, it's a 25-year bond, and it pays $25. It pays $50 a year. So every 6 months, I'm going to be receiving $25 because the two coupon payments, right? Every 6 months, it pays a coupon. So if a bond pays 6 months, every 6 months, and it's 25 years, so there's going to be 50 payments, right? Because there are 2 6 months in every year, right? That's how that works, right? And the coupon rate, once you establish the rate, the coupon rate, that rate stays there. That's what you're going to be receiving, right? And if we got to divide it by 2, or whatever it is, that's the rate that you get, right? So those two things, as I said, this and this never changes. Now the price of it, the interest rate might go down and we might sell it, but these things right here, they stay the same. At the end, you get your 500, and every 6 months, whatever it is, you get your $5 or $20, $50, whatever it is. It's $50, whatever it is, you get that. That doesn't change, right? So the coupon payment, to calculate the coupon payment, right? It's coupon rate times face value times number of coupon payment per year. That's how you calculate the coupon payment, right? So it'd be something like this, as I just said. So for example, a bond with a 10% coupon rate and semi-annual payment will pay coupon of 10% times 1,000 divided by 2 is $50. But we're smarter than that. We know that if it's 10% of 1,000, we know that it's 100. And if it's paying twice, we know that it pays $50 every 6 months. We don't need to do this. We know this just from our head because we're smart, right? We know that 10% of 1,000 is 100, and if it was 5%, right, it'd be $50. 2% be $20, and so on. 15 will be 150, right? So it makes it easier when we're working with a number like this, right? So that's how the coupon payment works, right? Now, one of the things that people, they have a lot of different terminologies for bonds, right? They're all saying the same thing, but they might be saying it in a different way, right? Maturity date is the final date of the bond. Payments continue until this date, right? Once the bond matures, that's it. That's it. No more, you cash it in, no more value, and you're done, right? And what happens sometimes, the notional amount used to compute interest is repaid on the maturity, also called par value. Notional is principal, principal is par, same thing. Face value, principal, same thing, right? Time remaining until the repayment date, right? The term of the deal. That's very important when you start talking about bonds, right? So we know what we're calculating. We talked about zero coupons. Zero coupons, as I said before, we know what it is. is that you buy it at a discount, and at maturity, they give you your money plus the interest for the use of your funds. That's what a zero coupon bond does. So it'll look something like this. You buy it for 96,618.36, and 1 year from now, they're going to pay you 100,000. Right? This will be a pure discount, right? So to calculate the interest on it, right? You could tell you take the par value and the face value and you divide it by the price, and then you're going to come out to 1.035. The interest is 350, right? 3.50, right? Because you don't need the one there. The one is just the same way as we did the present value. The same calculations we used prior are going to be almost the same calculations we're going to be using to calculate the bonds, right? And again, here's the 3.5 right here, right? And the same formula is going to apply. Now, one of the things that happens with bonds, all right, when you buy the bond at under the face value, it's known as a discount. So if a bond is $1,000, I pay $900 for it. I'm buying it at a discount. If a bond is $1,000 and I pay $1,000 for it, I'm buying it at par. If a bond is $1,000 and I pay $1,100 for it, I'm buying at premium. Okay? Got it? So when it's less, it's at a discount. When it's the same, it's at par. When it's above, it's called premium. Yes?
So what would be the benefit of buying at premium again?
Premium is above par price. So for instance, if this was $100,000, that was the face value, right? I'm paying $101,000 for it. I'm buying at premium, above the face value price. This doesn't change. It's just the price of it, what I'm paying for it. So which means that interest rates must be low. So the price of the bond went up.
So is this a discount?
No, discount, I told you, no. Discount will be 100, and I'm buying it here at 96. This is a discount right here. Discount is less than par. Right? That's what this says, right? Discount, right, is price lower than the face value. That's what discount is. So this is the face value here, and I'm buying it at a discount. I said that. If it's lower than the face value, it's considered discount. If it's the same, it's considered buying it at par. If it's above, it's considered premium. So bonds are very important because they are the backbone. That in the stock market are the backbone of this country, right? Because a lot of bonds are issued. That's how they raise capital. Shareholders and bondholders, right? Shares of stocks always outperform bonds, but bonds are less riskier. The same way you would calculate, right? The same way you would calculate the price or the present value of each one, right? or the interest is the same way you do it on the calculator for the bond, right? You will put 100, right, as n equals 1. You don't know you're solving for IY because you don't know what IY is, right? You leave that alone. Payment is 0, right? Future value is 100. And then negative present value is 96.62. And then you come out with this interest right here, 3.50. And then you do the same thing for 2 years, 3 years, same thing, same exact formulas.
Professor, can you please explain the process to do in the calculator?
If this right here is the future value of the bond, okay? This is what you're buying it as, the present value, the price, right? So if you wanted to know the interest on the calculator, you would say n equals 1. You leave IY alone because that's what you're solving for, right? You leave IY alone because that's what you're solving for, right? Present value, what you're paying for it is negative 96.62. And what you're going to be getting in the future value is $100. And then you compute for IY, and you should come out to 3.50 if you do it on your calculator right now. And then the same applies for the 2 year, 3 year. And if you notice that the further out the bond goes, the more interest they give you. Because, yes,
Can you remind me why like the present value's negative number here? When you're
because that's what's coming out your pocket.
okay.
That's what's coming out. That's what you're paying for it. Right? And if you notice that as it goes further out, you get more interest because they're holding on to your money. You're not gonna want the same interest that they give you in 1 year, right? Please turn the mic off. You're not gonna get the same interest that you would get in 1 year, and they have your money for 4. I can't see that. Talk to me.
I said sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Right. So they have to give you more interest if they're going to hold on to your money, because that's when you're confident of giving them your money, right? And then look at the price. The lower the price, what happens to the interest rate? Class, the lower the price,
Increases.
huh?
The higher
in-
the interest.
Yeah, it increases.
So you see what I'm saying about the inverse relationship,
Yes.
right? So that's what I'm talking about. You can't have it both ways, right? So they work in inverse relationships, right? So that's what that means. Now, another thing that the longer terms, the longer term bonds have higher yields, meaning higher returns. That's the only way they're going to get to hold your money like that. You're not going to give somebody, let's say you had $20,000 laying around, and the opportunity cost of you lending the money, of having the money invested, and you're only going to receive like 2%, and yet you can invest in other things that's going to give you higher interest rates more than the bond. You're not going to give them the money. You're going to say, the hell with that. I'm not doing that. So you're going to say that you're not going to invest. But if they're offering you such a high rate, right? And that goes also for investors, for companies trying to raise money, right? They know that the only way that they're going to get Citibank or JP Morgan to go into a bond for a long time is to offer higher rates. And once the bond is issued, right, and let's say they bought the bond for $8 million, and the face value on the bond is 40 million, right? And it's due to mature like in 10 or 15 years, right? That bond is going to change hands so many times, right? Because a lot of guys can't wait for 8 years to go. Yes,
Professor, what is the benefit of changing hands of bond? Like why they're who's getting benefit more? Like
it's like an investment. It's like an investment, right? I buy something and I know it's going to be worth a certain amount of money in years from now. But sometimes the guy that has it can't wait that long. So, for instance, if you hit the lottery right now, you hit the lottery right now, and you decided to take your money in increments, right? Let's say $10,000 a month, and someone comes up to you with an opportunity to, if you can, and your $10,000 a month is going to add up to about 2 million when they're done. Someone comes up to you with an opportunity where if you have $1 million right now, you can get into the business. So you can actually sell that lottery that you get, that $10,000 that you're getting. You could sell it so you can have the money again right now. You get it?
yes, Professor, I got it. Thank you.
That's what happens. That's why it changes hands. They can't wait. So it changes hands. And then you have some companies that probably have money that they can invest in. And they're going to take the bond and they'll hold on to it. And then in time of maturity, they get their money. So with the zero coupon, same thing here. This is for 5 years. Same thing, right? There are no coupons here. So it'll be N equals 5. I'm sorry, N equals 5. Yeah, IY is 5 also, right? And then we're calculating, we're doing, and then we'll say $100 is the future value and compute for present value. And we'll come up to 78.35. Same principle applies. Nothing different. There isn't anything different in here. So I want to show you something. So this will be a coupon bond, right, at 2.2, right, which means that they're going to be receiving, will be every 6 months, right? And the bond was sold, the face value of the bond is $1,000. And so for instance, if the life of the bond is 5 years, right? So 2010 to 2015, that's 5 years. So they're going to be getting 10 payments, right? Instead of 5, because there are, for each year, there are 2 6 months. So it's 5 years. So you're going to get 10 payments of $11. Each year, that's equivalent to 22, right? But this coupon is every 6 months, it pays out. So every 6 months, you get a check, right? So as I say here, they're going to be 10 6 months period, right? Because it pays out. 2010 from 2015 minus 20, right, is 5, right? And so each one of those years, there are 2 payments. So 2 times 5 is 10. And that's how it works with the coupons. Now, the Treasury market is huge, right? Just a little thing I wanted to tell you. These are all the bonds that are issued, right? The way it looks. And look, this amount is staggering, right? $7.489 trillion. That's like staggering numbers, right? And as I said, it's the backbone of the country. This is like unbelievable. Now, here, right, we're trying to find the yield to maturity, right? How much is the yield pays back, right? Because the bond pays a coupon semi-annually, the yield is for 6-month period. We convert into an APR, right? So what we're going to do here, right? For instance, right, we're going to say this bond right here, number of period is 10, right? And the face value, what we pay for the bond, is 963, so that's going to be negative. This represents the coupon payment. This represents the coupon payment, so it's going to be positive because it's paying out, and this is going to be positive also because it's paying out. And then we see what the IY is, right? So those are the things that we're going to be doing. Those are the things we're going to be doing, right? And once we get to do it, we got to practice at it because a lot of you sometimes doing the exam, right? Now you'll listen to me when I say something. You might come out with an error because you're putting too many things and you're not accounting for negative numbers, right? You're not accounting for this. Right? And also, when you're doing your calculations on a bond, right? If it's semi-annual, the bond, the question says 20 year, 20, it says 10. Let's say the question says it's a 10-year note paying semi-annually. The number of periods should be 20 if it's semi-annual. This was 5. Where is it? This was 5, right? So 10 months, 6 period. So this becomes 10. The payment is the coupon payment, which pays every 6 months. It doesn't pay $22. It pays $11. This and this has to match, right? The interest was 1.5, but because we did it this way, it comes out to 150. Was 3%, excuse me. It comes out to 150 because it's half of it. It's a lot to take in at first. Believe me, I know. Because yes.
So if the question says 5% APR with semi-annual compounding, the interest rate is going to be half of that, so it'll be 2.5.
I can't answer you because I really don't know what you're trying to say. I'm really not sure. But when we get to those, when we get to the, when we get to some of the homework, I'll answer that question. I'm not sure of what you're trying to say.
I'm just trying
Right.
to understand like how you got 1.5 instead of 3%. So like why was it half? Because it's
Because,
annually.
right, because we did this. We did this. Everything was done at a half, except for the present value and the forward value, the face value of the bond.
Okay, got it.
All right. Now, okay, here's one. This one, I have the interest, and I'm trying to calculate the price, right? So here I'm going to say n equals 10. I have the interest. My yield to maturity, right, is 1%. The payment is 11. The future value is 1,000. And I compute for present value. And it's negative 1,009. Now remember, when you put down your numbers, you put down whole numbers on your answer sheet. All right? So let's look at a question. Let's look at a question. I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to start giving homework and all that because I want everybody to get this. Right? I don't want any rush to judgment and all of a sudden, what is this? This and that. We're going to do this nice and easy. So let me hold on one second. Sorry. Okay. Does everybody see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is paying out every 6 months, right? So if it's 30 years, how many years is the bond? If it's 30 payments, how many years is the bond?
15.
How much?
15 years.
You said 15?
Yeah.
That's right. Because what happens is, right, we know that if it's 30 payments and it's 30 years, I'm sorry, if it's 30 payments, right, in 6 months, we know that each year represents 2. So 30 divided by 2 is 15, right? Now to calculate the coupon rate, right, what we're going to do we're going to say, so you see it right here, you see it, coupon, right, times number of payment per year, right, divided by face value. So 20.33 times 2 divided by 1,000, right? And what do you get?
Professor, can you please explain again?
When you're calculating the coupon rate, right? You're going to say coupon is 22 times number of coupons payments per year times 2. So 22 times 2 divided by the face value, which is 1,000. And that's your coupon rate. So do that for this one. 20.33 times 2 divided by 1,000. And then convert it into a decimal. 2 places. What do you get?
Is that 4.06? Well, 4.07, I mean.
Good. Now, plain and simple, how much is the face value? How much is the bond? Think 2 things that never changes. I told you before, this and what else? And this. So how much is the face value?
1,000.
That's right. And that's it. Right, for this. Right? Now, you see how this question, now on the exam, I usually throw this one in there sometimes, right? And I am shocked by the amount of people, excuse me, who get this wrong. And we're going to do a couple of more, and then I'm not there yet. Yes.
For some reason, I was getting like 6% instead of 4. Do we use
Then you did
15
something
or
wrong. You did something wrong. I know it's 4%
so do we
because
do 20.33?
listen to me. If you take 4.0%, 4.07% of $1,000, you should come out to about this right here, times 2, with a little headroom.
So what were the calculations again?
So 2 times 20.33 divided by 1,000. You good, Michelle?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. All right, now let's look at this one. Now, this bond right here, as I was saying before, and Soel had asked me, why does it change hands, right? So this bond right here is issuing a 25-year bond, right? And it's 0 coupon, right? So this will be a bond that Citibank, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, one of these large companies, those are the kind of numbers that they're going to be dealing with, right? So the way we're going to do this is we need to take the future value of this. And everybody should be able to do this based on what we've done. Look at the question. It says your company wants to raise 7 million by issuing a 25-year zero coupon bond, right? If the yield to maturity bond will be 6% annual compound, right? What's the total face value, right? We need to find the future value of this. We know the present value is 7 million, right? We know the number of periods is 25, and we know the interest rate is 6%. So all we need to do is find the future value. So everybody in the class should be able to do this right now, right? Everybody, right? That's all it is. We need to find the future value of this. We know the present value is 7 million. Number of period is 25, IY is 6.
Professor, it's gonna be a big number, right?
Yeah, of course it's gonna be big, man.
Okay, so can I? Yeah,
Of
'cause let me
course,
pull
what do you
up the
have?
math I got.
Professor,
30 million?
Yes.
All right.
if they want to
I'm gonna
raise
explain.
7 million,
Huh?
if they want to raise 7 million, to the 7 million be the future value?
No, they want the 7 million right now, and they're gonna pay you back 25 years later.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. 30 million, right? No?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. 43,000. And there's $95.
What? 30, 043, 095?
Oh, 95, yeah.
Huh?
And 4 cents.
Right. This is what I was saying. This is exactly my point about what I was saying before. And I knew that a lot of people didn't understand. So now this is what I was saying to you, right? Let's say you and I own a company and we bought this bond. We paid $7 million for it. We can't wait 25 years. We can't wait the 25 years. So what we'll have to do is let's say we hold it for 2 years. Then we'll calculate what the future value is of it. And then that's what we'll sell it for, a little bit less or more, right? And then the other guy would do it, and another guy would do it, and so on and so on. That's what I mean by changing hands, right? Once we get our $7 million back, we're going to get this back, of course, right? Because we invested this, right? We're going to be selling it probably for a little bit more, right? Or maybe a little bit less, depending on how it is. Probably a little bit more, because this keeps growing in value. So this has to grow in value too, our present value, right? Because if we did this back 24 years, we held on to it 24, this would be a higher number. Or 23, this number would be higher if we went back to calculate it, what they need to pay us. Do you understand that? Does everybody understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yes, Professor, I got it. Thank you so much.
Got it? You understand that, right? Because this is growing in value. Each year that goes by, this 7 million is getting closer to this 30 million. Each year that goes by, right? When it's down, each year that goes, like 24, year 24, this is worth more money. Year 23, it's worth more than it was worth at 25, and so on and so on, until it reaches this number right here.
How do we get this again?
The way we get it is by calculating the future value of the 7 million. I want to borrow $7 million right now, and I'm going to pay it back in 25 years at 6%. Okay? Now, no one is going to give me that type of money unless I make a promise to pay back a lot more. You're going to have my 7 million. You see the opportunity cost in this too? I can't see that. What did you write? Exactly. Exactly. I think I read that fast. I hope I'm right, but that's how it is, right? No one's going to give you money like this, right? Because the opportunity cost is unbelievable. What do I mean by opportunity cost? This 7 million could be doing other things, right? This 7 million could be doing other things, but I'm going to buy this bond. And then it's going to be changing hands as we go along. And now you get what I'm trying to say. As I said before, when we first started the class, there are some things that I have to teach you. When we first start, I have to do a lecture. And then we go into practicality like we're doing now, right? I can't just go in and say, here, this is how you do it. We have to do a lecture. And once we do the lecture, we're able to, now it's making sense. What I'm saying to you makes sense because you have a visual. You have a visual of what it is, right? So anytime a company wants to raise money, right, it has to give something back. If I'm borrowing money, right, if I'm borrowing money, right, I'm borrowing the 7 million and I'm paying back in 25 years. I got to be giving them back this much money.
How do we get the payment again?
How do we get what?
The payment?
What payment, my dear?
When we were getting the future
Payment.
value, or there's no payment in this?
No, there is no payment. It's the future value.
Is it because it's a zero coupon bond?
That's right. Exactly. There is no payment in this. Zero coupons. No payments whatsoever in this bond. Right? This number are the kind of numbers you will be seeing. Yes.
So Professor, zero, when he talks about zero coupon bonds, it means we are going to pay the money the company was borrowing at the end of the maturity, once it
That's
matures.
right. That's right. Nothing in between. Nothing in between. However, when it changes hands with the companies, that has nothing to do with this. You still get zero coupon bonds, right? So this right here, this face value, this never changes at the end, right? This is what you're going to be receiving at the end. This doesn't change. This doesn't change.
So when it is changing hands, the company which is buying and the company which is selling, like they get lesser price because
Yeah, they make out their own deals. They make out their own deals, right? The guy who wants to sell it might take a little bit less than he probably would if he would have waited. Do you understand?
yes,
Because
Professor.
he needs some, huh?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Listen, we're going to continue on this on Tuesday. I'm falling down now. Oof. So on Tuesday, we're going to go over the whole thing. I have the homework ready, and we're going to go over the whole thing, and everybody's going to understand it. We're going to go over it, and we're going to go over it till everybody gets it. All right? So I'll see you guys. What's today? Today's Thursday. I'll see you guys soon. All right. Wait 1 second. Kristen, Helmset,
I'm here.
stay on for a minute. Don't go, okay?
Mhm.
All right. Take care.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Glad to hear you're feeling
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right.
Thank you, Professor.
You feel? Thank you, Rosario. Okay. Kristen, how you doing?
I'm okay.
All right. I saw that you didn't finish one of the questions, the last one, right?
No, I didn't finish like the ending, like a couple of questions towards the end, because it cut off. And then when I went,
Here's what I'm going to do.
Mhm.
Here's what I'm going to do. Because of the need that you need more time and less time was taken away from you. I'm going to increase your grade by 2 questions, okay?
Okay,
That's the
fine.
best that I can do.
That's reasonable. I just,
I got it. All right, we'll leave it right there because you have a special situation. I don't want to get into your,
yeah,
Yeah.
I hate some people don't understand it, and it's just like,
no, we don't need to discuss it anymore. I
okay,
just said what I had to say.
all
Okay?
right. Thank
It's
you.
done. All
Thank
right, you're very welcome. Okay,
Have a good night.
take care.
Thank you.